Kitch.
Yellow.
Listen, no Deno intro on this one. However, for our listening audience, a little bit of a mix this week. Always trying to keep everybody on their toes. This is part one podcast this week, where it'll be Kitch only, and then part two, Deno will be joining us. Deno couldn't make it today, so we decided we're going to do two quicker ones. But a lot of this, it'll be interesting. But I'm sort of treating this like, you remember the dating game, obviously, right? So you're contestant number one, and you'll have to impress me as to why I should keep you as my sidekick. And then Den will be contestant number two, and then at the end, I will choose who I believe is my number one sidekick at the moment.
I feel like we're big time. This is a big time decision. This is like we're doing two split pods. That's the real podcast.
I know. We're doing shit. Yeah. You know what? And I've got for those of you who do not follow on TikTok, you need to follow on TikTok because I'm in full trucker mode here. Just the tank, just my new Raptors tank.
You are trucker mode.
My Raptors trucker hat on. Johnny Bart hated it last time I did this, so I thought I'd try it again. And this is also to prove.
It's because you're dressing like Johnny Bart. That's why he doesn't like it. You're dressing like
yes, it. Yeah. Well, I do keep it young. But you know what? Also, I'm doing this to prove to TikTok Nation. There's going to be a lot of TikTok talk today. TikTok talk, because man. Here, listen. We'll get it out of the way right off the bat. We are being accused of not being real Raptors fans all the time because they don't like some of our takes, which is fine. But the funny thing is, all of our takes that are a little bit off, like sort of, if we're a little bit harsh, those are the ones that take off, right? The ones where we're nice and we tell them how much we love them and this, that. Look, we don't get any views on that shit. It's the shit where we are like, all right, listen, we don't. When I said Lowry sucks, oh my God. People are not happy that I said Lowry sucks. How dare I say Lowry sucks? And I might boo him. But that was all context. People need to listen. Obviously, I wasn't going to boo him. Maybe I would have. I don't know. But the point is, I didn't boo him, but I could have. But the point is, you got to follow us on TikTok. And at the end of this podcast, remind me, big TikTok announcement coming up. Big TikTok announcement.
Exciting news. It's exciting.
Exciting. It is.
Exciting. Yes.
This will be the exciting pod. Daniels will be boring as shit. This will be all the good stuff happening in this one.
All right. I like my chance in the dating game then. That's good.
Well, listen, you still have to bring your A game or a version of it. All right. So on that note, let's kick in. So Raps recap right off the top. We're going to have lots of nice things to say. This will be terrible for viral clips because it's all going to be very nice. The Dallas game, great game after a shitty start. And then Monday night, again, I would call that almost as good as we can play defensively. But go ahead, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, so we had the stinker game. We after last pod, we had the Brooklyn game that night, which was a stinker game. The guys banged up. Of course, we get Brooklyn with a full roster, who haven't had a full roster all season except for the game against the Raps, and so that was. But we came with that same lineup, who got beaten to a pulp against Brooklyn, and that lineup knocked off Dallas, which was impressive as hell. Like that was a healthy Dallas squad, and man, did OG and Boucher ever show up in those games to carry us through that one? So that was fantastic. And then it is certainly nice to see us with a healthy full roster again. Like when we had the full roster against Cleveland, you just felt good. You felt like, man, when these guys are all playing, we are a solid squad. So yeah, great game against Cleveland. Just made it look easy. Like just ran away with it and never gave him a chance to get back. It just made it look like an easy win. And I think with a healthy squad, nobody wants to play us.
Well, listen, I've said the same thing now for every time I watch a game that goes well, my boys are tired of hearing me say it because I do say that all the time. No one's going to want to play us. And meanwhile, we lost the first round of the playoffs last year with this exact same roster. But that's not the point. The point is, I agree with you. When this team, like I couldn't get over the other night. Most of our lineups, we had at least three guys with, 20-foot wingspans out there. Like we are tall and long. And when we do that and we're active on defense, there's a ton of deflections. I know one of the things they talked about earlier is, or it may have been last season where I heard this, where they track deflections. They don't care about steals. They just want to know how many times on defense are we actually touching the ball to cause some sort of disruption, chaos, whatever you want to be. And I don't know what it was on Monday night, but it was a shitload. Of touches, deflecting the ball. So I just couldn't get over how long and how well, but we moved incredibly well that night as well. Like everyone just seemed to be dialed in on the same page. And then you put our length and athleticism on that. Like, yeah, we are a really, really tough squad defensively when we put it all together. So that's hugely encouraging.
Our activity level on D is exceptional. That they're always moving, always hustling. So you just wear the other team down if your hand's always in his face, or you always get a ball that's tipped by a long arm. Like it's the effort level that pays these dividends.
Well, I kind of felt that way in the Cleveland game for sure. I did feel like we wore them down. They just got frustrated, right? They just felt like, holy fuck, every possession is just a grind. Like these guys are all over us. And, next thing you know, we held them to, was it under 100 points? I think it was under 100 points.
Oh, it was under 100 points, yeah. It was like 88. I think it was like 88 or something.
92 maybe. Yeah, so it was that's, in today's NBA, that is not easy to do. And I know, like Brock mentioned, by the way, remind me to talk to you about Brock in a second here too. Brock sort of said that wasn't Cleveland's best squad, which it wasn't. They're missing Allen and Love, sort of two key rotation guys for sure. However, they're the two best players playing. And I think that's what speaks to the Raptors here a little bit. When we have our two best players playing, I don't think it matters who else we have behind it. We've got a chance to win that game. So the fact that we completely shut down Mitchell, 8 points, Garland, listen, we can talk about Garland in a second here too, but we didn't shut Garland down, but certainly he was not as effective because the rest of the team wasn't effective. He's a big drive and penetrate guy. I was super, super impressed. Like we've now had 3 games, that Philly game, we dump trucked them, the Atlanta game where I think still was probably our best game, but this was not far off one of our top 3 games of the season. Like it really, really was impressive. And then
we beat Cleveland twice now. We beat Cleveland. We beat them in the home
twice,
and
both at home.
Yeah. So that helps.
But then to counter that point to your Dallas point, like even when we didn't have our best squad and we got off to a shitty start, it was like 21-6 to start. The first quarter.
I sent the text. Remember, I said the text. Said this is awful. This is dreadful. OG's playing terrible. And then like it always happens with our pod, we could turn things on a dime.
Can we just talk about that text exchange for? We were 4 minutes into the game, and you had literally taken the kitchen sink and just thrown it out of the house.
It was like 21-7. I'm like, we couldn't even score.
I know. It's the NBA League of Runs. League of Runs.
They need that. They need us to say something bad, and then it always turns. It is shockingly how that happens amongst us.
Even I was caught off guard by how quick that trashy text exchange came out. I was like, wow. But then look at that. So, and by the way, going back to Brock, right? So for 2 days leading up to this game, Brock, who's going to the game, was bitching and moaning about how horrible the game was going to be because we had no starters. The day of, he gives me like, Freddie's out. This is a waste of time. I shouldn't be going. And meanwhile, it's one of the best games out there. All I can say, people, is be patient. Be patient out there. Just be patient.
You exercising patience. That's great. That's great.
That's where I'm at. But yeah, like that was clearly not our A team. Boucher was awesome. OG, great second half and did a great job on Luka. Even though Luka got his points and did his thing, he was pretty solid on Luka. So the OG love fest continues as far as I'm concerned. Like he is putting us in our place. No question.
No, he's league MVP. League MVP for sure. Yeah. I've said that all year. I think I said that all year.
Well, all right. Listen, let's go to another topic. The lineup on Tuesday night. The return of Siakam, Monday night. The return of Siakam. Let's just quickly evaluate his return, which I thought was incredible. Like his first half it's like he had missed a beat.
Yeah, and like it doesn't like he lost. I said he didn't look like he lost a step. Like he came in with the same confidence, made some decent shots. And the good thing about it, when he's on the court and he's confident and he's making some shots, that helps everybody else. That frees up everybody else around him. And like when he's on the court and he's confident, he's making some stuff, we are tough to beat.
Well, wherever he was at the end of the spectrum in the bubble, right, where he clearly was not good and was having some sort of challenge, he's almost at the other end of the spectrum now as far as his play, his attitude. I do, I try not to fall into these traps. You read these things about him being an off-court leader, this, that, and the other, but I do kind of see it now a little bit. Like he's talking to guys a lot more. Yeah. He's talking on defense a lot. Like he is taking a much more of a leadership role. I still think it's Freddie's team from a leadership standpoint, but Pascal's definitely 1A now. As before, I'm not sure you would have said he was 2 or 3. So yeah, if he stays healthy, if we can stay healthy, it'll be very interesting to see where this team could finish in the East. Because right now, I'd say Boston clearly is 1. Milwaukee clearly 2. But if someone said to me, we're playing Milwaukee right now in a 7-game series, even if they had Middleton, like, I'm not saying we'd win. I'm just saying I don't know you could easily say, oh, yeah, fuck Milwaukee. Like, if someone said that's going to go 7 and game 7's going to be a toss-up, I would totally believe that. The only team I would not say that right now is Boston. Like, Boston looks incredibly good. But
so it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough because Siakam is like rivaling OG for league MVP. So I keep going back and forth in league MVP from Siakam to OG. So it's tough. One of those.
Like, imagine us finishing 1-2 in the MVP race this year. That'd be stellar. I think that'd be the first time in the history of the league where two teammates did that. But yeah,
but nobody. So wait a minute. Nobody's going to want to have that on TikTok. Okay, I think OG and Siakam are going to be 120 and 121st in the league. There's no way they're league MVPs at all. Do we need to do that to get on TikTok?
Yeah, send that out there. We'll get 20,000 views. People will hate on us. I'll answer all the hate ones because I'll tell you what, I am enjoying replying to a lot of these comments that we get. So yeah, keep the comments coming. I'll come back to you. No
well, you're on a grievance committee. Aren't you on a grievance committee?
We got called. Oh no, not yet. I'm still working on it. My application's in. For the grievance committee at the club. But we got called old the other day. Some guy made fun of my accent, which is rich because I'm sure he was some sort of Southern American guy. But yeah, so yeah, it's all out there, and I'm happy. I can take it. I can totally deal with it. I'm not Kevin Durant. I am not. I'm happy to take the barbs, and I'll give them right back. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, listen. So the lineup: no Scotty starting, and no Gary starting. Clearly, Nick caught those two off guard with that because they both admitted to it post game. Your thoughts on the lineup change, and what do you think? Do you think it's a short term, or is it a longer term message being sent?
I think Scotty is 1,000% short term. There's no way we're not starting him in this game. I think that decision was driven by Alex McKechnie, the head trainer, where they say, you know what, let's not throw him back in the mix right away. Let's ease him in the minutes. So I think they were controlling his minutes, so 1,000% he's in the starting rotation. I think Trent might be better served for us off the bench. I think we got that outside scoring presence from the bench guys. We got Boucher on the inside. We got Trent on the outside. Those are two pretty good guys coming off the bench that can put up some good numbers for us. So I don't think I don't hate the Hernan Gomez start. I think Hernan Gomez brings a decent twist to there. He's not going to score a bunch, but he's going to work hard on D. He's going to set picks. He can make the three if he has to. So yeah, I think to cut him off guard maybe, but Nurse does that. Like, why, if it's not broken, why try and fix it? So we had two really good games without these guys. You got to give those guys a chance who won the last two games. So I like that as a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I always love a message being sent. I thought Scotty played pretty well. He's 27 minutes, which isn't what he's used to, but I thought he played well in those minutes. I'm not saying he tried any harder or doing that, but he had a good game. So whatever buttons were being pushed, it seemed to be effective. Gary was okay. Still, the shot is not falling from the way. But I've thought this. I'm not sure if I said it, but I've definitely thought about Gary since the moment we ever got him. He was never. I don't think he was ever meant to be a starter for us. He fell into that role for a bunch of different reasons. But for me, he's the epitome. He's the modern day Vinnie Johnson of the former Detroit Pistons. The microwave. He's off the bench. He's the 27-minute a game guy. And you know what? When he's hot in those games, you ride the shit out of him. And when he's not, that's no problem. We go to some of our other options like the Hernan Gomez's, the Bouchers, and they get more minutes in a different type of role. So to me, that makes perfect sense. And I agree with you. I think Barnes will probably start tonight.
Yep.
But Gary's newfound role is most likely in that 25 to 30-minute range coming off the bench as a six man. And I think he could be a great six man.
Yeah, I agree. And I would get on the Barnes overs tonight, over points, rebounds, assists. Great. If he starts, he is going to say, "Screw you! I should be starting." And I think you're going to have a big night.
See, I don't know about that because I'm not sure there's enough basketball for him right now. Because here's what's happened, right? In my opinion, and by the way, can I already say I'm as heavily invested in this game as I'd ever want to be on a fucking Wednesday night in November. Okay, this is I'm about to undo all of my good hard work of building the account back up to a stable position, and now I've put way too much on this fucking game tonight because I believe, because I'm a Raptors fan, TikTok Nation, because I'm a true Raptors fan, put my money where my mouth is. I love this game tonight. Fuck what we're going to lose because of that. So
we got Ingram's out, and McCollum's questionable, so there's a good chance he's out. So
I think McCollum is out.
Yeah. So
we're firing. We got everybody. We have everybody available that we give a shit about.
Line's 2 now. It went from pick to -1 to -2. So now it's -2.
I got about -1. So everyone who's listening, pray for the Raptors to win this game by at least 1.5 points.
Can you go 2.5? I was a little later than you might end.
And I also need Freddie to get 6 assists. That's another largish wager for me.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
So, okay. So I agree. So I think, all right, we've covered that. Now, quick little game for you before we move on. It is, now, Kitch, you have to pay attention to this. Okay. I didn't warn you about this, but just pay attention.
Okay.
It is start them, bench them, send to the 905.
Whoa.
Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 Raptors names. You got to start one, you got to bench one, and you got to send one to the 905.
Okay.
Here we go. Round 1. There's only 2 rounds. Freddie, OG, Scotty Barnes.
I got to send one of those guys to the 905.
You got to send one to the 905. That's the game.
Scotty, OG.
Who do you start? Start with that. Who do you start?
Right now? You got to start OG right now for sure. Yeah.
The love affair.
League MVP. And then Scotty or Freddie right
One's
now.
going back to the 905.
Oh, this question is ridiculous. All right,
What is? You got to do it.
I'll put Freddie in the 905 for the reason being is, and the only reason being is he's fragile, so we can sort of control him a little more in the 905, maybe rest his minutes a little bit and have him ready for late in the season. And Scotty hopefully can last the whole season because he's got a younger body. That's all I got.
That's hard. To the All-Star, the reigning All-Star goes to the 905. That's ridiculous. All right, round 2. And I'm going to do the same ones to Deno.
What about you? You got to come back.
No, don't worry about me. I'll do mine with Deno.
All right.
All right, here we go. Round 2.
Yeah.
Boucher, Hernan Gomez, Thad Young.
I would put Boucher as a starter. I think he can get you some points. He's working hard now. He's really hustling out there. He doesn't look like he's out of it a lot of times like he used to. He looks like he's really focused. So his last 5 games, new Boucher, I'll let him start. I will put Hernan Gomez as whatever the middle one was. What's the middle one?
The bench?
Bench. Hernan Gomez is on the bench. Yeah, so I'll put him on the bench, and because I think he brings a lot of different possibilities on the court for you. And I will put Thad Young in the G League. I don't love Thad. We had a good 4 days with Thad. We pumped him up last pod. He's been very mediocre since the last pod because we pumped him up. So
did you watch Monday night and or Saturday? He has made at least 7 to 10 incredible assists over the 2-game stretch. He's been rock solid. I cannot. That one shocks me. Thad definitely goes to the bench. I'll give you a little preview on mine. Thad definitely goes to the bench. Unbelievable. You know what? I'm not even so sure I wouldn't have Thad starting and Boucher to the bench. I think Thad's been awesome.
Really? Roof?
Yeah, I think he's been really, really good.
This is a ridiculous segment anyway. Who we put these guys in?
No, I love that. Yeah. Who's in the 905? Well, it's either that or cut. You got to get rid of them altogether. At least keep them in the family. Yeah. I'm not that cutthroat. All right. Quickly. Very quickly, because we got to wrap you up. Our rotation. Playoff rotation. The playoffs are starting today. So we obviously know the starters, right? So it's Siakam, Freddie.
We don't know the 5th.
Siakam, Freddie, OG, Barnes. Yeah, I guess the 5th will play itself out, but it's going to be a Thad Young, a Boucher, right? Okay, so now to go from there. There's our 4.
Trent.
Who are the next 4?
Could be Trent. So Thad, Boucher, Trent, Hernan Gomez are your 4 that could start, that have started. So you got your 4 starters: Siakam, OG, Freddie, and Barnes, and then you got Thad, Trent, Boucher, and Hernan Gomez. Those are the next 4 that have had starting minutes and that have been there. So I think that's a pretty easy group of 8 because the guys beyond that, Banton, Koloko, Flynn, Downton, The only one that's a wild card is Precious. If we get a healthy Precious coming in there, then does he bump out? Does he bump out Thad? Does he bump out Hernan Gomez? Probably bumps out one of those two guys.
All right. Well, I will. I'll discuss with Deno part 2, and we'll let you know if you were right.
But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see who our fifth man is on the starting rotation. Who our regular fifth man is. I'm curious to see what Nick does there.
Yeah, and I totally agree. All right, well, listen, good, Kitch. So far, you are holding up well. I'm not saying I'm leaning towards you or Deno yet, because I haven't heard Deno, but I'm saying you're holding up well in the dating game.
Excellent. Super
All right,
excited.
let's go. We're going to wrap you up here in the next 9 minutes. So let's go to gambling, which I cannot wait for this segment.
Yeah, I know you can't wait. I know you cannot.
Yeah.
All right, last
Producer
week.
John, you need to listen. Producer John, you cannot be week to week with me. You got to stick with me. I texted him right away. I'm like, hope you listen to my picks. He's like, nope, not this week.
John, mistake, John.
Hey, come on, John.
All right, so this last week, who was trailing going into the week? I think it might have been Deno. Deno was trailing going into the week. He took the Thursday special unders. So once again, there was a fair number of unders this week, but not the ones that Deno picked. He goes 1-2. Detroit Buffalo was well over. Giants Dallas was over by 3, and then New England Mini. What do you get? 48. Oh, wait a minute. He might have went over. Detroit Buffalo under 54.
Detroit Buffalo was under.
Detroit Buffalo got to 53. Got that by 1.5. Yeah. Giants Dallas was down. Giants Dallas was over. New England Mini was over. So Deno goes 1-2. Sits at 7-11. 39%, not very good for Deno this year in the under strategy. Kitch had an unfortunate week. Had some bad beats in this week. So you had the Green Bay Philly.
No one cares. Just tell us
this is important. So Green Bay Philly over 46.5. That was over in the second quarter. That was a slugfest.
That was.
Tampa Bay -3 over Cleveland. So if you watched the end of that game, Tampa Bay had a multitude of chances to close that game out. Cleveland had a 4th and 1 when the guy made the miraculous catch.
It's 4th and goal from the 11.
Oh, that's right.
4th and goal from the 11.
Yeah, and so not only to lose this bet, we got all the teasers coming in, and I had about 3 teasers on this game, and I needed Tampa Bay +4. They go to overtime. Cleveland's got the ball, 1st and goal from the 2. They refuse to kick a field goal. They run it. They don't get in. And then they run it again and score to win by 6. I'm like, are you kidding me? So that was a bad game all around. So lost that one.
Terrible.
And then Jets Chicago at under 39.5. It went to 40, lost by 0.5. So it was a tough week for Kitch. 1-2. Sits at 8, 9, and 1. 47%, falls below the 50% bracket. So that hurts.
Ouch.
And then Bart in his week of the century. First game he had was Detroit over Buffalo +9.5. Lost by 3. Detroit's for real. Kids.
Detroit's for real.
New York Jets over Chicago by 5.5. Jets dump trucked him 31-10. Wasn't even close.
White, baby. White Lotus.
And then the lucky lock of the week, San Fran over New Orleans by 9.5. So 9.5. The score was 13-0. New Orleans had the ball inside San Fran's 20 for what it seemed like the entire fourth quarter and could not.
Oh my God!
Put the ball in the end zone.
I was watching on the red zone, right? It's the only thing I was watching all day. And every time for the last hour they turned to that game, it was New Orleans in the red zone. And you think, okay, well, here's the score. It's going to fuck me because you knew San Fran wasn't scoring again. And every time it was some craziness that happened for them not to score. Easy cover. Well,
it was easy cover. So Bart gets a 3-0 week. And that's our first real week for anybody this year. 3-0 week goes to 10-8. 56%. So that's cash flow coming in.
That's actually making money.
And locks are 3-3. Locks are back to 500. Locks are 3-3.
There we go. All right. Okay. Well, with that, Deno, who's not here, but is giving us his picks today, which he sent to us. You'll be shocked to find out 300. But what were they again? I'll give the lines. You give me that.
New England versus Buffalo. He had under 43.5. So
that's correct.
Pat's Bills under 43.5. Dallas versus Indy under 43.5. The 43.5 special. Yeah. And Tampa Bay versus New Orleans under 40.5. So he's got the Sunday night and the Monday night game.
He does. Those are all the current lines as well. And actually, I don't hate any of those. It's just the only problem with those when those unders are that low. It's you are really now just need a slugfest on defense, no turnovers, not like you just can't afford a lot of bad shit. But all right, good for you, Deno.
Yeah.
Good luck. Maybe it'll help when Deno actually doesn't make the picks. He doesn't verbalize them.
Maybe when he sends them in, maybe it's better.
All right. Well, I guess I'm. Oh no, I'm not up because I'm in first place. So you're up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you are. You're the winner now.
Yeah, that's right.
So I got the Washington versus the New York Giants under 40.5. Every year this game's usually 9-7, 10-6. It's a slugfest outside of New York. So I'm going under 40.5 Washington Giants. I'm going to ride, and Bart, you're going to like this. I'm going to ride the red hot Detroit Lions, who have shown up the last 4 weeks, +1 over the lucky ass Jacksonville Jaguars, who had no business beating Baltimore last week in that game. So I'm going to take Detroit +1 over Jacksonville as my favorite pick of the week.
Oh.
And then my third and final one is going to be Green Bay versus Chicago. So I don't even know where it is, Green Bay or Chicago, but both.
It's in Chicago.
So it's in Chicago. Chicago's not warm this time of year. You've got Aaron Rodgers who's banged up. I'm going the under in that game at 43.5. I can't see either team really scoring much in that game. And so I'm going the under there. So I got those three for this week. And I'm feeling mediocre this week about these picks, just mediocre. Which means they'll do well.
Well, you and Deno, a lot of fun watching, cheering for unders all weekend. That'll be fun.
Will be.
Be great for the 7 guys coming to your house to watch football all week. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right, listen, quickly for me, we are, listen, I almost locked this up, but I didn't, but I'm riding the Lions with you. They're not going to be my lock, but I'm definitely taking them with, not to keep you at bay, because that's not how I operate, but I'm taking the Lions +1. How they're a home dog to Jacksonville, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Nope. Off the beaten path, I'm sticking this. My Atlanta Falcons also dogs at home +1. That makes no sense to me against the Steelers. People should not fall in love with the Steelers just yet. I would just not do that just yet.
I can't fall in love with the Falcons either, though. That's
no, either can I. But I'm telling you, home dogs against when shitty teams come to town, you're a home dog. It doesn't make any sense. So that one, but the absolute, and I can't believe. Listen, if I win tonight, and I still have money in my account, which I would have lots if I win tonight on the Raptors, I will be. This is, I don't know what my my absolute this is my 1 million star lock play of the year. It's the play of the year. Play of the year. The Baltimore Ravens at home -9 to whatever version of the Denver Broncos is going to show up. And as long as Russell Wilson is quarterbacking, then I feel great about this. If they announce a quarterback change of any kind, I don't care who comes in. If it's not Russell Wilson, this bet's off the board.
We can't take it off. You can't take it off.
I love the Ravens at home. After losing that game, it's the freest money out there. Bet it all. Producer John, if I find out next week that you did not bet this game, I might be in the hunt for a new producer.
What has happened? I can't imagine being a Denver Broncos fan. You would just, you sold the farm to bring in the train wreck of Russell Wilson, and it's just been a disaster. And
I know
what for the next 5 years now. What do you do? Like it is sad days.
I've read a few things on it too. It is like they're just completely screwed. Like the dead cap space, if they cut them, it would debilitate them. They're better off keeping them, which doesn't make any sense. But they are better off keeping them. They have they got a horrible coach, a horrible quarterback, that is a death spiral. If you have a horrible coach and a horrible quarterback, most teams don't overcome that in the NFL.
No, they don't. No,
it's really hard.
And when you got a really expensive quarterback, the coach is the one to go, and the quarterback sticks around.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Okay, Kitch, listen, we got to get you out of here. So you're going to do.
I added my little segment. Remember, we're going to talk about the NFC South. I was in the gambling as well.
Yeah, you didn't put it on the line. Yeah, you didn't put the agenda, but yes, we are.
So Tampa Bay sits at 5-6. Atlanta's at 5-7. Carolina's at 4-8, and New Orleans is at 4-8. One of these teams has to be the number 4 seed in the playoffs. So one of these teams has to make the playoffs. You tell me who you think it is from Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Carolina.
Listen, as much as after I bet on Tampa this week because I thought maybe they'd turn the corner, and clearly they haven't. But the good news for them is the corner they have to turn to win their division is the smallest corner on the planet. So I still think Tampa comes out of that to win that division.
They're -375. So, but Tampa's got San Fran, they got Cincy. So they got San Fran and Cincy in there, Arizona, maybe in Arizona picks up a bit, and then they got New Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta. They have the rest of the division.
Yeah, they're
I'm
gonna win 3 more games.
I'm going to go 12-1 on Carolina. Carolina's got Seattle, Pittsburgh, Detroit, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay is really the only tough, formidable opponent in there. You need New Orleans to knock off Tampa this week. So we need New Orleans to be. If New Orleans knocks off Tampa this week, I think you get some good juice from some of those crap teams in there. 'Cause I don't think Tampa Bay is for real. They just
it's worth a flyer. The only thing is I had Carolina over 6.5 wins to start the season, so that would feel like a huge win for me if they came back to get 7 wins. So I'd be happy. I don't think I need to double down on them winning the division as well.
For 7
but I don't hate that pick because it is a bit of a crapshoot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
And the other one, Miami. What about Miami at 225 to win the AFC East? Are they going to knock off Buffalo?
In Buffalo,
same records right now. They got to play in Buffalo.
Not. But even if they don't knock off Buffalo, as long as they're a game up going, if they end up tied, Miami wins the division. That's the way that's going to work out. So they're in a good spot. Not a horrible bet either.
Yeah. All right, those are my two tips.
Okay, so you are what drives. Then we go to AOB. I'll do my what drives at Deno because we'll have more time tomorrow.
All right, what drives? What's driving me crazy? And I every 4 years I jump in. I'm going to watch some soccer. The World Cup's on, and cheer for teams. But there's just a couple nuances. Well, there's a lot of nuances, but there's a couple that really stand out in soccer that do drive me crazy. One being, what other sport are you allowed to like run from 50 yards, scream your head off, right into the official's face, have your whole team with you, pile in, so all 11 of you are right in the official's face, screaming at him, and that's acceptable. There's no fraction for that. There's no downside. You're allowed to verbally abuse the official right in his face as a whole team and sprint at him. It looks like you're going to run him over. It does shock me on that. And the other thing that shocks me is, and I brought this up, I think, the last time we had soccer on TV, if you go down grabbing your ankle, you can't come running back on the field 30 seconds later. Like if you're grabbing your ankle, you're rolling around, and the trainers come out, and the players gather around you, and I don't know what magic sponge they use, and you go to the sideline limping, like you barely walk, and in soccer, you can watch a guy standing with the official on the sideline, and like 10 seconds later, you're allowed to go back on the field, and that guy sprints back on the field 10 seconds later. If you're hurt, you're hurt. And if you're not hurt, then suck it up and keep playing. It's amazing how that has just taken on a life of its own, and it's not. And there's no shame in it. No, clearly there's no shame. That's the amazing thing. Like this is the number one sport in the world from a viewing perspective. That is just appalling to me that people behave that way and in the number one viewed sport. Like I don't get it. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to pile on that. No pun intended. Because how about this also in soccer, which it fucking drives me crazy. After they score a goal, they all run to a corner, and then their entire teammates pile on them, and the subs come running down and pile on them while the clock is still running. Yeah, totally. 7-minute celebration. Yeah. How does that happen? Like that celebration goes on for at least 30, 45 seconds, sometimes longer, and the clock still runs. And that doesn't get only injury time gets added back in. I don't understand how that is allowed part of the game time in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, ridiculous. Or a corner kick at the end of the game. Like, the guy walks as slow as he possibly can to go to that corner. Like when soccer, have a clock, have a 30-minute halves, and have a stop clock. When the whistle goes, the clock stops. When the play starts again, the clock starts. It's not hard. It's pretty simple. Stop the clock. It cuts all the. That should be a protest. Stop the clock. I totally agree. It cuts out all the shenanigans. Okay, this is good TikTok stuff. Yeah. Oh God, we'll get the soccer community hating us. Oh my God, Europeans coming after us. This will be no good. All right, AOB. Do you have anything for AOB? I do have two things. One quick thing. So where is the soccer played? Is it played in Qatar or is it played in Qatar? Because all my Florida friends down here, they all call it Qatar. They say, yeah, the World Cup in Qatar. I'm like, Qatar. And in Canada, I don't know anybody who doesn't call it Qatar. I don't know anybody calls it Qatar. So what is the right enunciation for this country? Well, I actually don't know. Producer John, do you have any ideas what it is? Oh, he's got. I knew this. I don't even think he listens. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Listen, I've actually defaulted to Qatar as well because someone said it's not Qatar. Yeah. The guys down here, like I say Qatar, they say, what are you saying Qatar for? What is that? They are hard on Qatar. What is it?
Oh,
Qatar.
according to Google. Well,
Qatar.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I trust Siri.
Yeah, I like that. Qatar. We're
Qatar.
right. I like being right. We're right.
I'm not sure that was definitive.
My other AOB is I hear you're going to a Jack Armstrong Christmas concert.
Well, I have Row AA Center Orchestra. I have 2 tickets.
Get some spit.
2 tickets. Yeah, that'll be a great time. As I go by myself, that should be even more fun. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how this thing all shakes out. I want to know if Jack's going to be sober while he does it.
I've never seen him sing sober.
Yeah, me either. So for TikTok Nation, we might want to throw this one up, John. We actually know Jack and Matt fairly well. So I am supporting them. Actually, I'm supporting Kitch, and I are supporting them. The other tickets to Kitch, you just can't make it. So we're supporting them. Jack's actually going to be an upcoming guest on the pod. And probably Matt too. So just don't freak out when you start making fun of these two, because that's what we do. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Jack perform. I dare say I'm looking forward to it.
I'm curious. Like his wife's got 40 people coming from Lewiston in a bus. She got a full passenger bus of people from Jack's hometown Lewiston to come watch him sing at the Christmas concert.
Well, then I have a feeling I may make 41 that night.
You might be the 41st.
I don't know. I don't know how
friends and family and you.
Yeah, I don't know how well attended. But who knows? Listen, I hope it's great. And by the way, Matt Devlin, I still need to deal with him. That's bullshit. All right. AOB for me. Last thing. TikTok Nation. Pay attention. Even the haters. I'm going to give tickets away to the haters. Kitch and I have season tickets. They're very good seats. They're section 118, first row, seats 23, 24, something like that. Here's the deal. When we get to a threshold of 5,000 followers on our TikTok platform, our TikTok channel, whatever the hell we call it. And by the way, that would only be about a multiple of 30 of what we have right now. Once we get to 5,000, we are going to offer up in a blind draw format that producer John, who knows his way around this shit, he's going to come up with a way to make sure we do it that's on the up and up. And we are going to give away 2 tickets in those seats to an upcoming Raptors game the moment we get to 5,000 followers. So TikTok Nation, help us out. Follow us. Send a friend, send a Raptors friends, get some followers, and we will do this on a semi-regular basis. We will offer out tickets to our fan base, or to our not even our fan base. I'm not sure I think we have a hate base. I'm not sure we have a fan base, but we will offer it up. 2 tickets, and if things go according to plan, we may even arrange for you to get your picture taken with Jack and Matt.
Good chance of that.
Good chance we can make it happen. So Jack and Matt are there to say hello and get your picture taken. So there it is. 5,000 followers. Tickets are coming your way. It'll be on the up and up. It won't go to any friend or family. We'll make sure it's someone we don't know, some random follower.
Some hater. Some random hater.
Yeah, some hater. Doesn't matter. Actually, that could be family at that stage. So, all right. That's it. That's AOB. This wraps up part 1 of the 2-parter. And Kitch, enjoy your weekend with your Canadian friends coming down to your second home, or your third. I don't know how many homes. That's it. We're out of here.
And you guys are coming after New Orleans tonight, so you have fresh take on the Raptors after the Pelicans game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're coming back after the Pellies. Yeah. After, you know what? And well, actually, I may not. If it's just down tomorrow, obviously the Raptors lost, and I'm trying to figure out how to take the Coke bottles and beer cans back to get money to go in my account. So.
Perfect. Good luck with that, Bermuda.
True, yeah.
Okay. All right, Kawhi, take it away.
Kawhi up top, looks at the clock, turns the corner for the win! Got it! Kawhi Leonard! With the game winner! Hang it!